Alright then. Who's in this room? Empty. Here? Empty. And up here? Once again, empty. And, what's in here? This is a bar. Little lounge. I think this takes us up to the garden. Oh wow, check that out. This must be the castle's garden terrace. I'd say so. You can see the whole lake from here, and it overlooks the town too. Must be great for reconnaissance. As nice as this is, we really don't have time to stop and enjoy it. We've got a job to do. Let's take a look and see what we can spot. I guess this is where the queen makes her dress. And then her little palace that we can't get into should be up here. Oh! This must be the royal keep. Yep, she's locked away in there, I guess. Who are you? Hey, you two. We're here as guests of the Duke. Is this where Her Majesty lives? Of course it is. But for the last few days, she hasn't been feeling so well. She's not seeing anyone right now. Oh, you've got it all wrong. We weren't even thinking of that. I just thought it would be amazing if she were to even take notice of us. Does Princess Claudia sleep here as well? No, it's just... Hey, the princess is focused on looking after Her Majesty. Neither of them has time to deal with the likes of you. Might I inquire as to what's going on here? Madame, we didn't know you were back already. The dinner party will be starting soon, so I will be returning to the maid quarters. And who are our guests? They're from the team that won the martial arts competition. It's only because of that victory that someone of a bracer social standing would even be invited here. A bracer social standing? Such discourtesy. You would insult those who are personally invited to the royal castle? No, that's not what... Those invited by the Duke should be treated with all the respect due to those invited by Her Majesty. I sincerely hope you have not forgotten that. Understood. Wow, she's intense. I wonder who she is. But, Madame, we can't just allow them to pass. Surely you understand the reasons that the Colonel laid out. Yes, and I am quite tired of hearing them repeated to me. I am terribly sorry, sir and madame. Security has been tightened, and as such the royal keep and its surroundings are off limits. If I may ask, would you mind waiting in your rooms until the dinner party begins? Alright. That's fine. We'll do as you ask. I apologize. We weren't trying to cause any trouble. Fine then. Just don't let it happen again. Safe return to you. I apologize that you were subjected to such dreadful behavior. My name is Hilda. I am the head maid of Grancel Castle, and I oversee all of the housekeeping duties. Aha! We had a feeling. Forgive my rudeness, but are we previously acquainted? Well, someone told us about you. Handed Julia's letter to Hilda. I know this handwriting, you see. We also have our bracer emblems and identifications with us. I see. Please, come with me to the maid's sitting room. We can discuss the matter further once we are there. I understand. You need to deliver Professor Russell's message to Her Majesty, correct? Right. If now's not a good time, but we can try later, but... No, it's not an issue. But those special ops men have had the royal keep under constant surveillance for some time now. Only the Duke, the Colonel, and hired attendants such as myself are allowed in, which means that a private audience is probably a no-go. What do you think, Estelle? We could ask Hilda to relay the professor's message to Her Majesty. No, I'd rather speak to her face-to-face. There are just too many particulars we don't know that we'd really need to discuss directly, like what Duke Dunnan and Colonel Richards are after. Estelle and Joshua, I have a bit of an idea. Could I get you to return here once the dinner party is over? Why? Have you thought of a way for us to see Her Majesty? I believe I have. It may be difficult, but I think it's worth a try. I'm going to need some time to get ready, so can you come back after the dinner party? Awesome. Understood. We'll be back then. I'll be waiting. Food prep is done, so I think we'll begin serving shortly. For now, it's probably best if you wait in your room. Alright, back to our room then, I guess. Where am I? I don't know. Oh, that's off limits. We can check out this room, I guess. It's just like a meeting area, I guess. And, what's in here? Oh, it's the banquet hall. Very fancy. Back here must be the kitchen. Yep. Oh, look at that turkey and bread. Oh, wine. Oh, yeah, can't we eat salad? What's that? Looks like an omelet. Eggs. Oh, yeah. Dinner served. Alright, back upstairs to our room then. Room is this way. And I think it's this one? Nope, that's Maybelle's. This one? Hey guys, talk about being late. The party's about to start, you know. Sorry, shouldn't we have, changed our clothes? We're still wearing the same crap that we wore in the tour room. Probably all smelly and stinky and underdressed to be in a castle. I don't know. We got so caught up in sightseeing that we lost track of time. Plus, we also talked to all the mayors. Huh. Well, aren't we well connected? We're close friends with the mayor of Roland. Plus, we've met the other mayors in the course of our travels. Ah, I see. I guess your work as bracers has caused you to meet quite a few big shots. You two sure get around for junior bracers. Heh. Yeah, you might say that. Have you done any bracer assignments since you came to Grand Sal? I guess it's not all that different in other countries, right? Right. For a full-fledged bracer, nationality isn't an issue when it comes to your work. The prelim fights and legal procedures at the embassy kept me too busy to get any actual work done, though. But hey, there are 4 other bracers on duty too, which isn't so bad. Normally, that wouldn't be enough to handle most cases, I'd imagine, but with all of them concentrating in Grand Sal, that must make it tough to handle any cases in other regions. Yeah, it could be. I get the feeling a goose just walked over my grave. I wonder what's going on with Shira back in Roland. Now, that name rings a bell. You wouldn't happen to be talking about Charizard, would you? You know her? She's our mentor, and she's been a close friend for ages. Oh, okay, makes sense. I met her a long time ago, when a case brought her to Calvard. She was fortunate to have a good master working with her from such a young age. Her master? Yeah, probably Dad. Please pardon me, the table for the dinner party has been set. May I show you the way? Sure, I was getting bored with waiting anyway. Alright, wanna go and eat fancy? Sure, that fight left me starving. Let's go dig in. Come on, you two. It would be nice if you two didn't completely forget your table manners for once. This is a dinner party, right? What's with all the empty plates then? Plenty of knives and forks, though. That's because it's a formal dinner. Everything comes out in a specific order, starting with horse d'Auvars. I don't know if I pronounced it right, my French is a little rusty. Basically hors d'oeuvres. Then you use the knives and forks from the outside in. And that's all part of having good table manners. And here comes the anxiety attack. Ha ha ha, it really is not so bad. It does mean that you get to have some of the finest food available. Manners and etiquette are secondary. Indeed, indeed. I'm told that you're acquainted with everyone who will be attending. No need to get stressed out. Yeah, I guess that's true. Please don't encourage her. On that note, is the gentleman accompanying you going to be okay with a knife and fork? I'm told that folks from the East usually eat with chopsticks. You've done your research. However, I'm a firm believer in the when in liberal, do as the Librians do policy. I am not especially skilled with them, but I will use a knife and fork. My, how elegantly handled. I'm impressed. You're as much a gentleman as you are a martial arts champion. Ha ha ha, you flatter me. Boy, he really is a complete sucker for a pretty face. I think he's more being polite than a leech, though. Anyway, His Grace is really late. I wonder what he's up to. Indeed. So if the seat at the head of the table is for the Duke, then who might that other one be for? Indeed. Perhaps it is intended for Princess Claudia. Your attention, ladies and gentlemen. My humble apologies for the long delay. Presenting His Grace the Duke. Well then, I must apologize for making you wait so. I'm afraid that I was in a meeting from which I simply could not break away. This gentleman is Colonel Richards, Commanding Officer of the Royal Intelligence Division. I've invited him here to thank him for his tireless efforts in helping to deal with the terrorist situation. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I was quite gratified to be invited to this occasion by our Honorable Duke. I ask that you pardon my uncouth soldier's uniform and allow me to sit with you. You've got to be kidding. We're having dinner with him. I suspected this might happen, but it's still unnerving. Ha ha ha! Excellent, excellent! What say you, Mayor Maybell? What do you think of Grancel Castle's master chef? Is his cooking not on par with that found in Beau's Anterose restaurant? Yes, it's quite remarkable. The wine selection also perfectly complements the meal. I almost want to try hiring him away. Ha ha ha! You are not the first to say such things. And what have you, Zin, wasn't it? Is the food to your liking? Oh, it's excellent. I don't have the words to describe the sense of refreshment and depth. I certainly believe I could develop a real taste for Liberalian cuisine, though. Good, good, I'm glad to hear it. And you, young bracers, I imagine you've never experienced such fine food in your life before. It's extremely delicious, far more worthy of being associated with the royal family than the person who invited us. Ha ha ha, indeed, it is a genuine treat. It's certainly delicious food, and we couldn't miss a chance to attend so prestigious an event as this. Thank you very much for your gracious invitation. Ha ha ha, very kind of you to say so. I do finally remember what my butler has been telling me about. We met before, during the ruin incident. Perhaps our fates are linked in some bizarre fashion. Yes, sir, maybe so. So he'd forgotten all about us until his butler reminded him. Come, let us put social classes and ranks aside for the evening. Food is abundant, and the wine flows freely, so enjoy to your heart's content. Your Grace. If we could, I'd like to do as we discussed first. Ah, yes, that's a fine idea. Actually, I have something important to say to you fine folks who represent the kingdom. I use the celebration as the place to make an important announcement. An announcement? And what might that be? I believe I will allow Colonel Richard to explain in detail. Thank you. As you are no doubt already aware, Her Majesty has been in poor health of late. However, she has been recovering and may grace us with a public appearance soon. Ah, that's excellent news. Could we possibly go and check in on her? Unfortunately, she does not consider that to be a wise decision at the moment. Within a few days, it seems likely that the terrorists plaguing the kingdom will be swept away. In light of that, the Queen's birthday celebration will be held as originally planned. Well, the citizens will surely be happy to hear this news, as they have been looking forward to it. But surely that is not all you wish to tell us. Right, if that were all, you could have just sent along a message. Ha ha, indeed you are correct. Her Majesty is continuing to recover, as was previously stated. However, given the gravity of her condition, she has also issued a proclamation. Due to her tenuous health, she has stated that she wishes to abdicate the throne and turn over royal authority to her nephew, Duke Dunnan. What? Is this true? Joshua, this is... Yeah, the conspiracy finally makes its appearance. I was surprised when Her Majesty first broached the subject as well, but her illness has left her quite frail. But it is only natural. She has ruled the kingdom for 40 years, leading it through times of strife and war, all without a husband, might I add. Given that, I wish to relieve her of the stress of her duties following the festival's successful conclusion. As the heir to the throne, the decisions are mine to make. How terrible. Is Her Majesty's condition truly that severe? I'm ashamed that I've never noticed any signs in any of my annual visits. Isn't this far too serious a matter to discuss at what is supposedly a casual dinner? Pardon my rudeness, but this all seems to stretch credulity. Mayor Maybell, are you saying that you cannot take His Grace at his word? No, nothing of the sort. I simply mean that, as an elected official, I don't understand why the successor to the throne can't be elected in the same fashion. That's true. If possible, I'd like to hear this directly from Her Majesty. Your unease is quite understandable. But we do ask that you try to maintain your composure and allow us to continue. As mentioned earlier, I believe Her Majesty will give a formal announcement herself during the festival. Could you be persuaded to shelve your doubts until then? Well, the issue is basically this. Once this becomes common knowledge, we cannot know how the citizens will react. This is why we're telling the leaders first, to help stave off any chaos or public disorder before it happens. This was also the decision of His Grace. Ahem. Well, yes, this is true. Also, the Queen's abdication of the throne will have international repercussions. The other nations on the continent will have their eyes on us, and we must be watchful for any action on the part of the Erebonians. Surely you can see why it is necessary to show unified support for the new king. This is the world in which we are going to be living. He makes it all sound so rational. Yeah, he's quite the master manipulator. In other words, the official decree will be given during the birthday celebration, but you thought it would be best to inform us first so that we can be prepared for any issues that may arise, correct? Haha, I'm glad to see that we have an understanding. If this all comes to pass, we're going to find ourselves quite busy. Yes, and we'll have to announce it to the citizens. I have a question. I believe that the Duke has a fair claim to the throne. However, is there not another who also has the same right of succession? Well, no doubt you're referring to Her Majesty's granddaughter, Princess Claudia. It is true that she and His Grace have an equal claim to the throne, but it would appear that Her Majesty did not choose her due to her tender age, and I must say I agree with her wisdom in this matter. I should hardly like to impose such responsibilities upon a girl so young. Yes, absolutely. For the time being, I believe it would be best for Claudia to find a fine marriage prospect. Though it is strictly informal, there is already interest from the royal families of a number of other nations. Perhaps a royal wedding could take place as soon as this year. Oh my. I understand. If that happens, then we'll have two major events to celebrate. I honestly think she's a bit young for marriage. Excuse me, may I ask a question? Zin? I don't mind, speak freely. Sorry to seem rude, but this doesn't sound like the kind of conversation you'd want outsiders hearing, particularly a foreigner. So how come you're making this announcement now? That is solely because of the serendipitous turn of events that allows Bracers to win the championship. We had wanted to inform the guild of this in advance as well. I've already discussed the idea with Her Majesty. Gotcha. I guess Liberal's military and Bracers are on just as good of terms as the stories say. Haha, that is because we lack the military strength of the Empire or the Republic. The harsh reality is that keeping close relations with each other is a must. In any event, do you now understand our intentions? Yeah, alright. We'll pass on what we've learned here to the guild then.